You checking? Shh. I'm not talking to you yet. Hit him. Then we'll talk. Checks out. Okay. You can take the bag off them. I want to see what we're working with here. I don't pay you to think. Just do what I say. I'm not going to have a conversation with a piece of cloth. When I want you to talk, I will say so. Nondescript, innocent and friendly looking enough, unlikely to raise any eyebrows. Not seeing any mods. Did you run the history? You should know by now that we don't take people at their word in this business. Well, do it now. Listen, when you're running your own operation, feel free to run it as loose and careless as you like. But I am not risking unwanted attention from the Inquisition. Hey, you ever committed a sin? Never mind, what am I asking? Of course you have. You ever done anything to draw the eyes of the Templars? The Inquisition? Now that's the look of someone who's never stepped a toe out of line before. No. I don't want to know. This isn't a confession box. Anything coming up? You hear that, kid? You are a rare commodity. These days, the standards are so strict, everyone is caught out on something. Almost a little suspicious. Then again, perhaps you're just good at not getting caught. That kind of thing will prove useful. But enough being vague. This is on a need-to-know basis. Anyone who doesn't need to know, out. Trust me, the less you know, the less you have to worry about having it squeezed out of you. It's in your own best interests. Come on, clear the room. I'll let you in when it's done. I know why you're here already. You think the guards out front don't inform me what my guests are here to do? Tisk. Based on your file, you're a good kid. And yet, here you are, pursuing illegal implants. Profane mods corrupt the soul, you know. You hate to see it. Well, I don't. It's a nice little side gig. You understand what you're asking for, right? After all, modifications that corrupt the divine form. Well, let's just say they're hard to come by for a reason. That's why we had to vet you on your way in. Don't need some Inquisition plant coming in wearing a wire, exposing this entire operation. Can't say I need the bad press. Quite the list you're requesting here. Oh no, we can do it. But it won't come cheap. Let's say 200,000 ducats. And that's the tech alone. Not considering the dock fees, meds, maintenance. You got that kind of cash on you? Thought not. Probably for the best, if you were carrying that kind of scratch on you. Let's just say you wouldn't have made it here. Oh yes, they can detect what you're carrying on you. Well, I know, because I gave them the equipment to know. Not the most honorable of clients, but clients nonetheless. They pay their tab through obvious means. This isn't the kind of business where you want to be behind on your payments. Well, taking a look at your scans, you don't have any chrome on you, but you have a treasure trove in there. Healthy lungs, working liver, pumping heart. If you can't pay in coin, we can collect payment in other ways. Ways you might not enjoy so much. Oh, there's no need to look so scared. You seem like a good kid. I'm not worried about you. That tends to be more of an issue for the gamblers, taking what they owe us and trying to double, triple it at the casinos, trying to pay it all back in one go, and then lose it all. I don't see you pulling that. I pulled up your bank info when we scanned you, checked your finances. It's not going to be a comfortable fee, maybe living on cans for a bit, but I'm not worried about you being able to get all paid up. But I have another offer. Something a little more unconventional, which would take the payment out of the equation. I saw your ears perk up at that. You're interested? Good. Well, always useful to have a couple extra ducats, but some things are more valuable than money. There are things that don't just walk into my office freely of their own accord often. Yes, good. I'm talking about you. Have you heard of a company called Pious? I'd hope so. They have their name plastered across the city, and I need someone perceptive. See, they invest good money in maintaining their spotless, God-fearing image to the public. But I've been given reason to believe that under the surface, they've got more than a few skeletons in their closet. Very astute indeed. What corp doesn't? You're currently sitting within one of mine. However, one of those skeletons is a thorn in my side. One I would very much like to be taken out of the equation. What I want from you is to be my eyes and ears from the inside. I want to know what's going on in there. And in exchange, we'll consider that payment for your mods. Does that sound acceptable to you? Good. Walk with me. Let us discuss the matter somewhere more comfortable What's your poison? It's on my tab. Like I said, you do this job for me and I will pay your tab in its entirety, in perpetuity. Indeed. You may be familiar with my company, Serapia. Yes, that Serapia. The one that manufactures the implants that don't quite fulfill your needs. Well, there's no need to apologize. Believe me, I am well aware of the shortcomings of our official stock. Why do you think it is my same company that makes these below-the-counter options? The fact of the matter is, we are limited by the policies the megachurches have pushed for. The abolition of any mods that deviate too far from God's image man was made in, that facilitate straying too far from the traditional structure outlined in the older texts, equipment to assist the working girl in her labor. The list goes on. See, pious, like many of the companies you'll see grow beyond simple mum and pop stores, have a megachurch backing. Indeed, those same megachurches lobbying politicians to mold the laws to fit their doctrine. Needless to say, such a thing is not in my best interests. Now, of course, publicly, I present myself the same way, saying my Hail Marys, donating to the churches, paying my indulgences. But under the covers, not so much. I can't say I'd have gone to this business if that weren't the case. I doubt the folks at Pius are any different. It's an easy means of control, a way to get a collective together, hold power and influence without anyone batting an eye. But I'm not recruiting you to take down a megachurch. Not today, at least. Pius, in particular, act as a supplier of components for our more legitimate products. Ordained metals, holy oils, and the like. But why would they be satisfied at just supplying the components when they could just produce the mods themselves? They already have quite the healthy production line. Weapons, cars, construction. Of course, I, and I alone, still hold the license, the blessing from the church to produce such things. I'm sure you can now put together the threat that Pius poses. I've been informed that they have been working on a prototype. Something big to sway the church to give them license over myself. And that's where you come in. See, without the permission to do so, they should not be doing that. To do so would be a sin. To go against the will of God himself. If it were to come to light, well, the megachurch backing them would have no choice but to cut ties to save face. Needless to say, my interest is not entirely selfless. You will be placed into a position there, transferred from another branch, falsified records, credentials, the works, and you will work your way into Pius's inner circle until you can collect the evidence I need. In exchange, you will be given your requested modifications and can keep any salary earned during your time at the company. So, do we have a deal? Good. Come with me. We need to get your equipment installed. Indeed, I did say your mods would come after the job is done, but you will be collecting evidence with more than just word of mouth. This way. Meet the doc. Don't talk to him. The fewer words exchanged between the two of you, the better. This entire operation is need to know. Understood? Okay, Doc. The kid's going to need basic corporate firmware, false flag systems, let's say Isadora, retinal shifters, and hearing implants. What? Were you expecting a camera and microphone? This is corporate espionage, not journalism. Get in the chair. It won't take long. The doc's good at his job. He's got a lot of practice. Well, they'll be expecting you to have the interface. Half the tech involved in the position you're taking will require it. You'll raise eyebrows showing up without it. We want you to blend into the crowd. Did you scrub the previous owner's info? File off the ID? Good. Like I said earlier, kid, those that can't pay the conventional way find alternative ways of paying off their tab. Hold still. Oh yes, you'll be given anesthesia, but you won't be going under. Got to make sure that you pass any drug tests they check you with. You'll just have to tough it out. If you're very brave and impress me, perhaps I'll treat you to dinner. Consider it motivation to be a good patient. Good. Now hold still and let him do his work. Good. Looks like it fits you like a glove. I knew you'd be perfect for the job when you walked into my office. You're doing well. I've seen men 3 times your size crying like a baby during this part. Yeah, registered the license as Isadora. They've been sniffing around Pious production lines for a while now. So it shouldn't raise any eyebrows to see them higher up the chain. If anything, fostering conflict between the two is good for us. Oh, it's just a safeguard in case you get caught. It's bad if you get traced back to us. Not a good look. But, hopefully, this will be redundant, because you are going to be a good little pup and avoid getting caught, aren't you? Good. All done? Good. No, I think using the newest ones will raise eyebrows. Do we have any of the Gen 3s in stock? Do they need to match? Yeah, true. This isn't a street operation. Okay, give them the 4s. Worst case scenario, we come up with an excuse of them being from a wealthy relative. These will allow you to gain greater visual data than your organic eyes could provide. You'll be able to see micro-expressions, finer details from a greater distance. They'll also connect to that interface we installed to produce a recording of your experiences at the company. Like I said, you will be collecting evidence. This is how you'll be doing it. Your eyes and ears will be recording your surroundings. Every conversation, every secret you're shown, even things you didn't consciously notice at the time. You will report here after each shift, so we can download the footage and send it to be analyzed. That way, we can check for anything you might have missed. Any preferences on eye color? Huh. Good choice. Well, you heard them. Can't say I envy you, having to sit still while your eyes are plucked out to be replaced with new ones. Tell you what, you behave, and I'll let you pick the restaurant. Gives you something to think about to distract you. Can't imagine you've eaten somewhere nice in a while. These implants will also allow you to replicate eye structures for retinal scans, allowing you to get into more privileged areas. Of course, that ramps up the risks if you get caught, but if you hit a roadblock in getting permissions in the conventional way, it could prove invaluable. All done? Let me take a look. They suit you. Don't look out of place at all. That's good. We're looking for as little attention to fall on you as possible. Anything that looks out of place is a no-go. Just one more to go, and you've already been through the worst of it. This one should boost whatever auditory information you're picking up during your shifts. You shouldn't notice any difference. We're not trying to make you hypersensitive or anything. But it should maximize what we're getting in the recordings. Not what you were thinking of when you were planning to get mods, huh? Yeah, well, unfortunately, if you show up to a corporate job rocking a bunch of profane mods, you're just asking to get clocked as an Iscariot and reported to the Inquisition. As soon as the job's done, you can pick whatever you like. We have a good line of mods that can be disguised as legal ones. For example, secondary arms that fold into their primary counterparts, implants that give off a null signal to scanners to avoid being picked up. The works. Everything implanted? Good. Don't get up just yet. We've still got to run a few checks. Everything working as expected? Good. Send these off to get their IDs forged. I want them in the position by next Monday. You call this number if any of them go on the fritz. Understand? Don't go to some corner repair shop. The data you'll have stored on these is priceless. Good. Now, I believe I promised you dinner.